Hey, thanks for joining me for another episode of Take a Deep Breath with Yvonne Daniels podcast. I am your well-being girlfriend, Yvonne Daniels, encouraging you and helping you to embrace the power of giving your body permission to relax for better choices, health, and wealth. We are doing this one deep breath at a time. All you need is an open heart and an open mind and a willingness to grow and to go. So, hope today's going well for you so far. So glad you tuned in because over here we're all about also changing health narratives and leaving health legacy. So, Matt, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
I am well, but you know what? We'll be doing even better once we take this deep breath. So let's go ahead and kick this podcast off. Come on. Giving our bodies permission to relax. And of course, the health we talk about is the wealth that you're born with. We talk about the other kinds of wealth that we definitely need to know about, but just knowing that the health is wealth that you're born with, that we have responsibility to steward. Man, I tell you what, that's powerful. So this week's episode, we are talking about the fact that October, man, I can't believe that we're almost halfway through the month. We're almost at the end of the year. Okay, but stay focused, Yvonne. October is Emotional Wellness Month. The last episode, we talked about emotional intelligence. So we're also celebrating this month, Emotional Wellness Month. And emotional wellness is defined as, and this is according to the National Center for Emotional Wellness, the term refers to an awareness, understanding, and acceptance of your emotions, which are very powerful, and your ability to manage effectively through challenges and change. So when you're tuned into your feelings, you can become more aware of your bodily sensations and, how you feel, how your body's feeling with different, as you're going through different things. I just actually experienced this and have been experiencing this more frequently as I'm really tuning into my body and what it needs. Yesterday, Matt, I was I had a lot going on. A lot of brain power was being used. And I realized that, I was like, gosh, I'm usually not as hungry at this time of the day. But then I realized how much I was thinking and all the decisions I was making. And so I guess my body was like, yeah, so you need some more fuel, some more food. So just tapping into stuff like that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Yeah. Do you ever find that you are, maybe not at 20, you may not be tapping in as much, but I encourage you to, just kind of start really taking, just account of what's going on with you and how your body's feeling with different things. This actually is just, man, so on point and on time here. Just found out, if you don't know, that the singer D'Angelo just passed away. And, I as prepared, when I was preparing this podcast, I was like, wow, now how do I feel? It really threw me for a loop. And this just found out just before we started recording this podcast at the when you hear this podcast, you probably will all have already heard that D'Angelo has passed away. He had a private battle with pancreatic cancer. D'Angelo, of course, we know, loved him so much for his modern soul music. How Does It Feel was probably one of his biggest hits. He redid Cruisin' and some of the other songs that we love from him. He had that jazz hip hop influence. Brown Sugar, yeah, we love that one. He was back really big back in the 90s. And recently, he had been doing a lot of live jazz. He had a band and, he had the live jazz feel. And he just was a really, really good artist. He was only 51. This is so unexpected. And I really had to kind of process my emotions on how I felt about this. And this is somebody I didn't even really know personally, but just the effect that his career and his music had just, on my life. And just my musical choices was like crazy. So D'Angelo, I want to dedicate this entire podcast to, just celebrating the life of D'Angelo. He's survived by his children, his close family, who've asked for privacy as they grieve this tremendous loss. And of course, we lost Angie Stone, who they have a son. Earlier this year, we lost her in a car accident. So just processing all of those emotions and then just thinking about the feelings of the family. And if you have had a loved one that has passed away, we have to deal with those emotions. And so even through stuff like that, we have to make sure that we are tackling and making sure that we are emotionally well, because these are the kinds of things that can send you down a path that really can be really just very dangerous. So as we honor the life of D'Angelo, as we talk about emotional wellness, we're going to talk about some things that we can do to make sure that we stay emotionally well. The first thing is to be kind to yourself, something I am learning to do. Matthew, I have to ask you at such a young age, are you kind? Do you think you're kind to yourself?
To be completely honest with you, no, I am not.
Wow. Okay. So that's something you're gonna, and I think we all need to continue to work on it. You're gonna work on that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're a great guy. You really are, and you want to be kind to yourself. All right, we'll start with that. We want to be grateful, and I find myself just when I feel like a complaining spirit rising up, I start to really think about. I feel like the Lord is. He tells me, He's like, but look at this, look at that, look at that, and I'm like, you're right, Lord. So there's so many more things that we have to be grateful for than we have to complain about. Emotionally healthy people feel gratitude for their lives and all the goodness that they experience. I mean, and if you can just find one or two things, and as you think about those one or two things, that will turn into three or four and five and six and seven and eight. And it really does change your perspective. It can help to change your emotions and how you're feeling. Just being appreciative instead of complaining. Just be thankful for life's blessings. Being happy with the person that you are. Because you know what? There's only one you. And so, I really feel and I know that God made each and every one of us for a reason. If you're small, if you're larger, if you have a tendency to be larger or a tendency to be smaller, God made you that way for a reason. And so just really, learning to appreciate yourself and, being happy with who you are. Matt, I got to ask you because you represent the young folks. So just being honest. And, I want to thank you too, Matt. I want to thank you for your transparency. You're very transparent, and that really helps as we dialogue and interact on these podcasts. So if you want to be fully transparent, do you think that you're happy with the person that you are?
I mean, to a certain extent.
Yeah.
I would say there's some things that I do that I personally don't like and that I'd quit.
Okay.
It's just, the saying bad habits die hard. So
Yeah.
there's that.
Yeah.
I mean, usually I'm pretty happy with the person that I am. It's
Yeah.
just more of like when I fail at something, or
Mm.
let's say if I don't get something right the first try or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't say that word on air, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Right.
It's like you
Yeah.
kind of tear yourself down a little bit, and
Mhm.
you're better than that, and
Right. Yeah.
that entire type of ordeal.
Yeah. Well, representing the younger folks, and I know, I've been there before as well, but just knowing that you have another opportunity to do it again, another opportunity to make a different decision. But the person that you are, just really appreciating, because you just told me that you did very well on one of your tests, right?
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah, you got like a 100%.
Yeah, that is correct.
I'm
100.
like, yes, Matt, doing that. So just thinking about the things, that we're good at, the things that we like about ourselves, will help us to be happy with the person, and knowing that we didn't make this body, we didn't make who we are. God made us who we are for a reason. So even just knowing that, He doesn't make any mistakes. Definitely know that, and being open-minded. I am glad to have a supervisor that is very open-minded, and I love that. Being able to be open-minded with, not putting yourself in a box and not putting other people in a box, and listening to other folks, not just thinking that your way is the only way, but listening to other people, not being attached to any particular philosophy about certain things, being open to others' viewpoints. That doesn't mean you have to take it on and accept it, but just even hearing them, listening to people, being open. You may find something, they may say something that may spark something in you that really will change your perspective, just how you do things, and just your thoughts on different things. So that's so very important. And then having a purpose in life, and you may not know specifically what your purpose is, but as you continue to search, and just being open-minded, happy with who you are, grateful, all those things will help you to develop your purpose and know what your purpose is in life. And sometimes, for some people, it's an ongoing thing. It is, some people find their quote unquote purpose early in life. And some people find, what, as I've gotten older, even maybe after retiring, they found that this is what I really feel like my purpose is in life. But continuing to have that attitude of gratitude, and being happy with yourself, being open-minded, being kind to yourself, those things are so very important. So, you know how we do. We love to keep these short and impactful. In general, maintaining a sense of well-being in our everyday lives can relate to both the positive and the negative activities in our daily routine. So we have to be focused on hopefully more of the positive and turning those negatives into positive. Positive well-being leads to happiness, whereas negative well-being tends to lead to depression. And if you know someone that is, that is maybe feeling depressed, a lot of times we need to think about what are we thinking about? What are the things that we're focusing on? Because a lot of times the things that we're focusing on can really determine, our emotions and our feelings on a lot of things. So if we all try to maintain a good sense of emotional wellness, I tell you what, this world would definitely be a better place. It takes a group effort. And so listen to other people. Be open-minded. All right. Like I said, you don't have to take on what they're saying necessarily as fact and what I'm going to do, but just hear people out. And as people listen to you, because I like people to listen to me as well. And I'm sure you do too, Matt, right?
What was that?
You like to, do you like when people look at Matt, look, Matt is focusing on the production. Thank you. I appreciate that. But listening to people and having people listen to you, do you agree that's very important?
Oh, yeah.
I think so too. So we're going to focus on doing that as we continue to make sure that we are emotionally well, right? Celebrating Emotional Wellness Month this October. So I thank you so much for listening to, this episode of Take a Deep Breath with Yvonne Daniels podcast, your well-being girlfriend, encouraging you to embrace the power of giving your body permission to relax. Matt, you know how we end each and every episode. So let's do it. Let's take that deep breath. Yes. Thank you for listening to this episode. You can also check out my blog, deepbreathsandtastebuds.blogspot.com. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next episode.